I don't know who's watching, but if anybody's out there, welcome to Too Many Comics or Not Enough. That is the question. And we got StrangeXblade with us, my man to go to
Hey,
for
everybody.
knowledge on the my man to go to for the knowledge on the modern books. So we're just gonna chat, show some comics, try to be funny. Maybe we'll succeed, maybe we won't. I don't know. So Ryan, hey, Paulo Acosta's up. What's up, buddy? You're
Hey, how's
up,
it
man. You
going?
got a book you want to show us? You got something cool?
Um, yeah. So
We got great.
as
We
you guys
got
know,
Gray Man.
hey, Gray Man, what's up? Um, I'm just gonna throw up some modern books since everybody's probably, if you're tuning in, you're probably wondering what modern books. Picked this up not too long ago. Web of Spider-Man 118. And I also have the other issue to go with it. I don't have the top loader for it though. Let's see. Yeah, this is the first appearance of Scarlet Spider officially. Like we all know the Spider Clone is an older Spider-Man book. Forget the issue number off the top of my head. I know it's the when he's fighting the Spider Clone on the cover, and then in Spider-Man 51 in the Todd McFarlane volume, he becomes Ben Reilly, and then Ben Reilly becomes Scarlet Spider in this issue. And then to go with it, 119, Venom on the cover.
Hold on,
Let me
hold on. Let me
see
get.
if you guys can see that good. Venom on the cover. This is the first appearance of Kane, which is Ben Reilly's main villain. So you got his first appearance as Scarlet Spider and first appearance of Kane as main villain. I don't know. Spider-Man stuff to me is like when I was a kid, that was like the coolest thing, and I'm pretty sure it's been like that for people collecting Bronze Age, Silver Age as well. But like the cartoon really popularity for a lot of kids, and especially in my age group. Like I'm in my late. I don't know, Night Tiger. Do you have an affinity for Spider-Man? Did you ever watch the cartoon in the '90s?
Yeah, I did. I watched the one in the '60s. Actually, what's the one where it's the Ultimate where he's working for Shield? That one I have on my hard drive. I've kind of started watching it. If it's Spider-Man Ultimate or not. But you'll answer me in a minute when you're on Frozen. Hey, Lawrence. Lawrence is in the house. The go-to geeks. Reed's here. Hey, Reed. Hope you're feeling better. Okay, Ryan. You can stop with the pretend freezing. Come on, buddy. Don't leave me hanging. Anyways, I got that. Here he comes. I got that one clone cover burned into my mind. I
Yeah.
don't know anything about it, but when I'm going through bins, I know if I see it, Reed's in the house. Lawrence is here. Gray Man says he's got his entry up for your contest.
If I time out, oh, he's going to enter the contest. I can't see the chat right now because my phone's charging.
So, anyways, if anyone's wants to know the update, Reed is feeling better, so he says thanks. Yay, Captain Kirk's here. This is my LCS owner right here. This is my LCS owner. This is a guy that gives me the great deals on the books. Is this the cafeteria? Am I in the right place? Perry's here. Perry Comics. So
Glad
we
you're
got
feeling
two
better,
Florida
Chris.
boys here. We got two Florida boys. So if anyone could, I got this for $1 yesterday. It's the second to last issue in the Brave and the Bold, Volume 1. Jim Apparel cover. Spectre. Does anyone know, is this his first Spectre cover since the Adventure Comics? I'd really like to know that. I couldn't find any information on that. But I went to a new store in Gainesville, Florida. Bunch of dollar bins, and they had a lot of good stuff for $1. I left some stuff behind. A Supergirl #1 from the 80s run. That's our first #1 issue. Firestorm Volume 2 #1 I left. And Oh, Captain Kirk Steven says hi from All Stars Comics and Sports Cards in Gainesville. He said to let you know that
What's
he
up?
is looking forward to the Brick City comic book event. So Captain Kirk, who's here, he's putting on a comic book event down at the pavilion called the Brick City Comic Books. It's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be a lot of vendors there. Uh,
That's my
so
kind of
I
convention.
I texted Ryan when I picked this up for $1. It's the DC Universe Green Lantern Volume 3, number 54, where his
Volume. Yes, the
girlfriend is
Kyle Rayner
found,
volume.
where his girlfriend's found
Um,
stuffed in a refrigerator.
yeah. Those books, if you can find them in the dollar bin all the time. I mean, and they're good to pick up
Oh,
because
that just
there's like a
that you just ruined my day. If it's easy to find, then it's not a find.
no, no. It's hard to piece together a set, because if you're going to piece together an entire run of DC Universe variants, you're probably going to spend over $1,000 if you go to eBay and stuff. So if you can find a majority of them in the dollar bins, I think you're doing okay. Find them less than $10 on eBay. I wouldn't pay more than $5 for one personally, but I just like to have almost stay 150 out of. I think like there's like 400 or 500 of them, so it's a lot.
Grayman says that
I'll fill up a whole long
Grayman
box.
Grayman said he completed his run from 100 to 200 on the Brave and the Bold. Perry, I'm going to show a haul here that I just picked up from from Gainesville, Florida. A lot of $3 keys, $1 keys, and a big book. It's a store that I hadn't been to in a long time, but it's really cool, run by a really cool guy. So just stick around for that. Reed Comics says I have a long box full of DCU and then gave up. All right, you're up, Ryan. What you got?
Let's see. I'll start showing books. Just some like covers that you can find. Like if you like modern books. Um, let's throw up some covers here. I've always loved this. If you like Batman, if you like Batman villain covers, if you're from, you know about Power Girl 27, the white cover, and Detective Comics 880.
Oh, he froze. I was gonna say if someone doesn't like Batman, they need to be taken behind the shed and knock some sense into him. He's one of the greatest superheroes ever. Come on, Ryan. I have to show a book if you don't hurry up and get back. All right, I got this for $1 at that store. 9A copy, long shot number 1. He had 2. I grabbed 1. I got to go back. Hopefully someone else. Hey, Lady Fantastic's in here. So yeah, I picked that up for $1. 9A copy. I left a bunch of books because I couldn't spend all my money. And I have this, but this is definitely an upgrade for the other one I got. I found out of the 50-cent bin. Okay, Ryan's left us, but he'll be back. So I'm going to continue to show some of these books I got from this place. I just had the card here, and I think I just dropped it. It's All-Star Comics, Sports Cards, or All-Star Sports Cards and Comics, Gainesville, Florida. Found that one, 9A copy for $3. I did not have this. Steve Rogers resigns as Captain America. Pretty cool cover, Mike Zeck. I mean, you got the trifecta going right there. You got Zeck, cool cover, key, $3. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. How are my books staying on the wall? We'll ask him when he gets back in. He's coming. He's coming back. Here he comes. Yay! Give him a hand, folks.
Go tweak something. I keep getting shut out of the thing. So like I was saying earlier about the Power Girl 27 and the Detective Comics 880 final issues. Do you remember the white covers they did?
Well, you're going to show
Mike?
us, so we'll remember.
All right, so
Can
they
you hear
did these
me?
white cover final issues.
You need your
And
headphones. There's feedback.
Okay.
But you got a question. Can you hear me?
What? Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, Steve's here. I love Disney and comics. From Captain Kirk wants to know how you keep your books up on the shelf. I'm on the wall.
On the wall. So
Yeah.
I have them in top loaders, and what I do is, I was going to use the Scotch permanent wall tape to put them up there, but I could damage the wall. So what I do is I take on the back of on the back of it, I put command strips. What I do is I take the book out and then work from the bottom and work my way up. And I take the command strips and I put like one, and I put the top loader mounted to the wall, and it stays up there.
Good question. Good question.
That is a good
Me, I just
question.
put shelves up and put them on the shelves. If you wanted to know. All right,
Yeah, I'm
Ryan,
too
you were
lazy
saying
to do
about the book.
that. Oh yeah, so this book, this is a beautiful Luvisi cover of Bane. It's one of my favorite Bane covers. Like I said, it's from that time where they're doing like final issues and wrapping up the volumes at the time. And this was, I think, Secret Six's second volume, solo volume, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be their. I think it's their second because they did have a volume in the Silver Age, so this is probably their second, maybe third.
Yeah, yeah.
But this cover is amazing. Bane is just on fire cool in this cover. You can get this book for like
Nice.
really cheap. I mean, it's just a nice cover to have in the collection. Really, I really like it.
Kirk, you heard that? You can get it for really cheap. So I'm gonna be at your shop soon looking for it.
Oh
All
yeah,
right,
you can find it. It might be hard to find it in high grade.
I showed a couple books when you were gone, but I got this for $3, 9/8 copy. Not a key, but just a Stephen Platt cover. Beautiful, beautiful.
I have one up here, right here where my finger's pointing. That is that cover.
And I didn't have this one. I had the other ones. So for $3, I'm definitely getting that. I love Moon Knight. He's my second favorite superhero after Batman. I think he's edging out Batman because I'm tired of the way that they've treated Batman, and he's supposed to be a solo character, and now they have all these what's it called, the Bat something, where they're all like working with him in different cities, and that's just not right. Batman's just supposed to be working alone. He's not even supposed to even really know he exists. He's this creature of the night, and you should know nothing about him or even where he's at.
I mean, my opinion is that
I don't know if
there's
you know
way
what I'm
better.
saying.
Yeah, I haven't been reading Batman, any of the new stuff, and it's just I think there's better street level characters than Batman. You got Daredevil, Spidey. I mean, I'd rather read a Spider-Man or Daredevil book than a Batman book. No offense to people who read Batman. It's just that anytime I've picked up a Batman book in the past, it's like you maybe have a brief good issue, and then you have 3 crap issues right after, and then you have to like stick with it in its story. So that's why I don't read
consistency.
Batman. Absolutely no consistency.
Biggie's in the house. Hey, Biggie, what's up? Okay, so you are up, my brother.
I'm up again.
You are up. Yep.
I don't know. I had this book out because I think these books are cool, and I remember showing you these before we went live. As you guys practice are like getting like really big, and FF 48 and 49 are pretty expensive, but I have the next best thing, which are their first reprints. So this one is the first full appearance of Silver Surfer in reprint form, and then this one is the first full appearance of Galactus in reprint form. And so I just think they're cool. If you can't afford the real book,
what I like,
this is the next best thing. So,
and what I like about them, they're original covers. They're not reprint covers.
Oh yeah, they are original, and this cover is amazing. Look at that.
It is
just
Who does the cover?
So good. That black just pops on the box covers.
Who does that cover? You know.
Let me look real quick. I'll crack it open. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm so sorry, but see here.
See if it's signed. You probably won't find it inside.
Yeah, probably
Elite
won't.
Comics Daredevil, best street level character ever. I agree. I agree. Daredevil he is badass. Oh, sorry, family show. He has bad butt.
I think Frank Miller, took Daredevil. Also did that with Batman, and unfortunately, like Matt Murdock, he's just. I'm more entertained by the Daredevil than I was with Gotham with anything Bat related, and I think it's because Daredevil is more of like a real character than Bruce Wayne. Like nobody's that filthy rat, has all that money to have all that stupid gadgetry that Batman has. Daredevil is more real. I mean, like a blind might be kind of far fetched, but it's still more in the realm of possibility than having a giant cave underneath your mansion. Fans, but it's just hard to read it sometimes.
Don't be apologizing. I'm a Batman fan.
It's kind of cringy.
I like the old school. The old school though. So we got Paul Acosta said that may be a Ron Wilson cover.
Ron Wilson.
Grayman said, I don't mind DD, but the Billy Cub gets me as a mode of transportation. Lady Fantastic says, I'd rather be reading Galactus snorting a line off planets. Especially when Miller is writing him. I got some $3 Miller keys in here from that store. If do you ever use Comic Book Grand Database? Because you can get a lot of info like on who does the covers and stuff.
I have.
So I picked.
Yeah. Okay.
I picked this up for $1. Not at that store, but I did pick this up for $1 about 4 or 5 months ago. But it relates to some of the books I'm showing. This is going to be going into a AOK for Life with Two YouTubers with a couple other books to her and Lady Fantastic that are coming up. So that's Moon Knight #1 from the first series. And it's one of my favorite series. I have the whole run. One of the few whole runs that I have. Oh, Kevin's in here. Yep. Bill Sienkiewicz did the cover. My friend Kevin Durden's in here. Hey, Kevin, what's going on? All right, so you're up, brother.
All right, I guess I'll keep it Moon Knight. I do have some Stephen Platts on the wall up here. You guys can hear. If you guys can see those, I have some Stephen Platts on the wall up there.
That one on the corner, the black one. I picked up 2 copies of that 9/8 for $5 a piece.
I got some more Moon Knight here. Oh yeah, I was showing this cover.
That's a serious kung fu pose.
This Delato cover is one of my favorite Moon Knight covers of all time.
Does he do the ones with Venom?
It's Moon Knight 26.
Does he do the covers with Venom?
I think he does.
Because I have a bunch of those. Yeah, that was a good
series.
In
the box back there.
That was right before they ruined Moon Knight. Put him in a padded
this is right before they did that stupid. But I just really like this cover. I mean, it's so collectible. I mean, you can hang this on the wall. It looks badass.
Paula Acosta said, found it. Marvel Greatest Comics number 35 is a John Buscema cover. And that's what I was going to say. That's who I thought it was. John Buscema. The Kirby vibe comes from Joe Sinnott's inking. Yep. Immortal Biggie said he has that one. And that's a bad butt Delato. That's the new phrase now, bad butt.
Oh, yeah.
I really hate Stephen Platt. I think his signature splat perfectly summarizes his art style. I don't know. I like him. I'm not a cartoony kind of guy. That one I showed is kind of cartoony, but he has a certain something. So you were going to say that.
I mean,
StrangeXblade.
Okay. I can see that.
I got this for $3 at that store in Gainesville. First Black Spectre. This is like a 9/8. This is going in the AOK to Lady Fantastic. This is the second one that I found for $1 in the last year. So they can be found for sure. Another Bill Sienkiewicz cover. And this whole run is, I can't say enough about this whole run. I like my favorite is when the Jester, that issue where he fights the Jester, because there's a panel in there where the Jester throws the yo-yo, and it looks so cool. And then my favorite.
I got a funny story.
Oh, hold on. My favorite is the Daredevil Moon Knight cover. Every time I see that one, I got to get it. All right, go ahead. I'm going to put you on the big screen.
I got a funny story about that exact book. I got yelled at by a shop owner about that book because I was hunting books and they put out a new long box and I was going through there and I pulled that Moon Knight 25 out and he price checked me on that book at the register. And this was like a year plus ago before there's like, it was just like rumors at that point, more than like actual like evidence that the character is going to be doing something. And he price checks me for 10. I think I got mine for like $10. But he tried to give me crap for the book, and you know, I never went back to that shop ever again because of that. And
I hear you. Whoops.
So
I'm sorry I cut you off by accident.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
So we got Paul Acosta said there were guys from the early '90s who were terrible art, later evolved. Jay Lee was a terrible in X Factor. But when he did Inhumans, his style and storytelling were perfect for the story. Yeah, I remember reading that. What's that Fantastic Four run? Is it the Ultimate Fantastic Four with the zombies, Marvel Zombies? What series was that?
Yeah, issue 21.
He
issue
did
21, 22, 23.
Yeah, he did the one where they introduced the Inhumans, and it was really good. He did the art on that. We got Michael Dodd. Michael Dodd's here. What's up, brother? Moon Knight backups in the Hulk magazine, number 11, seem to be under the radar for many good Bill Sienkiewicz work. I've never seen that. Lady Fantastic, one of her faves covers. Yeah, Ultimate FF. Shops suck. I feel you, brother, says Biggie. Okay, so I got these for $3. I got these for $3. 298 copies. Those are going in that AOK to Lady Fantastic and Life with Two YouTubers. Beautiful Sienkiewicz cover again.
Is that one of Moon Knight's throwing moons right there?
Yeah.
On the bottom. Oh, that's cool. Man, his art is still that good.
That's the Night Tiger right there, people. There he is. Night Tiger on the cover of a Moon Knight book.
You should get a what is it? A poster of that cover.
There's
or a print or something.
Marvel or the Marvel Knights Black Panther 2099 one shot. And there's a picture of Black Panther, the last panel, a big panel. Looks really cool. I was thinking about drawing that out and putting Night Tiger's stripes on it in his ears and putting it up on. Okay, what do you see? We got great Moon Knight cover from Steve. Good night, Michael Dodd. He's got to go. So, hey, thanks for joining us, though. Lady Fantastic, while Bill Sienkiewicz did whatever he wanted during the Moon Knight and New Mutants run. Yeah, I have a bunch of the New Mutants run, but I haven't read them yet that he did. Captain Kirk says shops do suck. Coming from a shop owner.
If you have it out but the thing was, the sign said if it's not priced, it's $1. If it's not priced, it's cover price, or it's cover price. And then if the cover price is less than $1, then it's $1. So that book, what was that? A cover price, $1.25 maybe. He tried to price check me on it because he claimed that he didn't go through that box yet, but the box was out on the floor. I didn't understand.
So we got Dave SNMC cool. In the house. Strange in person.
Hey, what's up, David?
And
hey, in case you haven't seen
Michael Dodd says Bill Sienkiewicz had a cool Neil Adams style back in Moon Knight Day. And lady shouting out Dave SMNC. And you're up, buddy. You're up.
What's up, David? All right. So I got a book that I just think is really cool and awesome. And see here. All right. I think it has a pull-out thing. I think it's so cool. All right, so it's one of those covers, 90s of Venom. It's this overlook cover.
Oh yeah,
Venom 3 for
nice.
the finale.
Wow,
Cover
I've
is
never
so
seen that.
sick. And it's kind of a clone to another popular Venom cover from the 90s, but this is like, Larry Hama worked on this book, and Larry Hama's known for his G.I. Joe stuff, so I thought it was pretty cool to have in the collection.
Yeah, that's
You just don't
beautiful
find
cover.
these in newsstands, man. You just don't find them. You got a good score. So I have my Venom shirt on because I got a lot of Venom books set aside. But yeah, this book
Same
is so
here.
sick. I love that cover.
I always show this one, but I found this one. Someone wanted to buy it, and I'm like, I don't think I want to sell this. I've never
Oh
seen it
yeah,
before. I don't know how hard it is to find, but it's a beautiful. And someone said, or Gray Man said, it's homage to Judge Dredd, Judge Dredd cover #1.
it
I
is.
am the
I think it is.
law.
Yeah, it looks
Yep,
just
I
like
am the
it.
law. I found it for $1, man, and I'm not going to ever part with this book. It's just so beautiful.
I mean,
But that's not the
that
one.
90s man.
Okay, so this is really my official one. I found this for $3, a 9A copy. It's a reprint of Joe Simon Jack Kirby's Golden Age run. But this thing, if you go on my
That's cool.
Instagram, it had a piece of tape on it right here, this long.
Oh
When I took it
yeah.
out of the bag, I'm like, oh man, I thought I scored big, but I pulled it off and I didn't damage the book. And I put the video up on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
You
for
took
$3, a 9.8.
That's a 9.8.
And I had a lovely, yeah.
It's pretty nice.
I had a lovely my lovely assistant Milagros help me pull it off. Okay, do you get those Venomized pops? Captain Kirk wants to know if you get the Venomized pops.
I actually collect more 90s toys. I'm more into collecting vintage. So I collect like the Toy Biz 10-inch figures, the 10-inch Venom, the 10-inch Carnage, Spider Carnage from the 90s. I don't really collect Funko Pops that much. If I do, it's like very hit or miss. Like I have Funko Pops back here. Those are my Gargoyles Funko Pops, and then I have more Gargoyle stuff over there in the corner. And then, yeah, the rest of the room right now is a project, but I do have lots of figures like these. So I have like some Mortal Kombat figures hanging out, and this is the kind of figures I collect: mint in box stuff from the '90s, nostalgia.
Okay, David SNMC says most of the best one does shows FaceTime to time. Michael Dodd, Simon and Kirby reprints, good stuff. Paulo Costa, wasn't that supposed to be one of the aborted black and white magazines that Kirby was going to do for DC? I do not know that. Captain Kirk says Gargoyles was great. I found all the Gargoyle run except for #1 in the antique shop, Kirk, not even a mile from your store. But I did gift some of them away. I kept a couple.
God, man,
Okay,
it took
so
forever.
is it my turn? So this
I think, yeah.
So this 9.8 copy, I pressed it out because it had a bend of a key, Frank Miller, number 174, for $3 from that store. This is the first appearance
Oh
of the
wow,
hand and a cover appearance of early Elektra. Frank Miller script and art.
wow.
$3. I couldn't believe it. And I did not have this issue
I
because I
mean,
didn't.
some
Go ahead.
some places just don't know what they have.
Oh, these people know. They just say sometimes they miss one or two here. They said they missed first Racket Raccoon, a guy found in their bin a couple of days ago. They let him have it for $3.
Hmm.
Okay. It happens.
Got to honor
And
your
that's
deals.
and that's what I like. That's a good shop. Captain Kirk,
Yeah,
he does
reputable
that.
shop.
If you find a book and he's priced it, he'll work with you. If he can't sell it at the price it's that they mispriced it at, he'll still work with you. You'll get that book at a deal, and that's a good shop. Kevin
Don't let it
Durden,
go
that's a
for
nice
dirt
cover.
cheap.
That 9.2, there's a shiny glitter that keeps moving all over the cover. That looks like a 9.2. It had a bend, and I pressed it. I got to press it one more time. Like there was a comic that it fell in the box behind a stack of comics right here, but there's no color break at all. And I pressed it, and I got to press it again. I was trying to be real careful because I want to make sure when I pressed it, I didn't break the color on the spine. So I'll do it one more time, maybe, and see if I can get it completely flat. And I didn't want to leave it in. I was going to leave it in longer, but I wanted to take it out and look at it and stuff, you know. I don't know. Sometimes when I press a book and I need to keep it in about 16 hours or so, I want to get it out. I want to look at it. I want to read it. So I take it out too early and it's not completely flat. But so I don't know if can you see it where it was bent right here?
Oh, I can see it now. I see it. I see exactly what you're talking about.
It was a
It's
lot
like right
worse. So
there.
if I
Yeah.
press it, yeah, if I press it again, but that thing is right by the staple, that bend, and you got to be careful if it's by the staple because you could break the color on it. That's why I didn't. That's why I took it out, and I think I'll do it one more time. So yeah, you're right. It's probably a 9.2. I lied.
Mistakes happen.
All right, you're up.
I got a book I picked up a while ago, um, and the shop did not know what they had, and you just inspired me to show this book. Forever People
Oh
One,
wow, yeah.
$5.
That it's funny how you're showing books related to stuff that I found at that shop because I got one coming up.
Yeah,
I'll show I'll show it next just because you showed that.
I was in shock when I saw that in there, and it is very low grade. It is very tan on the cover, and it's just permanent tan. But there's also
Yeah.
a chip down here missing. But for $5 for the first full Dark Side, are you kidding me? There, that's just crazy. Love this book.
So how much was it?
It was $5.
How much you pay? Oh, okay, I missed that.
$5.
Nice. Okay, so the next one
Yeah.
wasn't $5, it was 3. But tell me if you could tell me what this is. I got it at that shop for $3.
Oh my God. Is that is that somebody's first appearance? I can't think of
No,
the person's
it's a
name.
second appearance. Second appearance.
Oh, second appearance. Oh, okay. I've seen that book. I've seen that book somewhere, and the guy said it was like super tough to find in high grade. And I went to my shop and I saw that on the wall. They had like 50 on it, and I had no idea what it was for. They just had a $50 price sticker.
It's the second
So
appearance of Darkseid.
ever
Yeah,
or
you have
second full appearance.
second full.
Second
Second
full.
full.
Okay, so this one
Yeah.
is the first full. Okay, and then the Jimmy Olsen
And
book's the cameo.
but this has a first cameo team appearance of the Deep Six and first cameo appearance of Slig.
Oh, okay.
For $3,
Yeah,
man.
that book is nice.
I'm a hunter
$3.
like you. I went through every bin they had. My wife sat there and brought her schoolwork in on the computer, and she said, "Are you going to be a while?" She went to Home Depot next door. She came back, and she's a good wife. She just sat there doing her work because she's a teacher. And I went through the whole. I said, I don't know when I'm coming back. I'm going through every bin you got.
And when you find something like that, then you're like, okay. Usually it happens in the first bin. You go in there, the first bin, you find something like this, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna be here for a while.
Yep, exactly. So, I actually found most of it on the backside. Okay, so we got Michael Dodd. Older 9.8s are fewer and far between. I'm happy with VF's 8 or older graded by Overstreet. Oh yeah, definitely. Kevin says cool cover. He likes it. Scott Neely's in. Hey Scott, what's going on? Watching my nightly DVD, but stop by to say hi. Scott, you should actually put the DVD in the DVD player and watch the movie on it. Either the DVD is messed up or my player, but the sound keeps fading out, so it's hard to watch and enjoy. About to rewire it. And Lady Fantastic says WOW. Wow. So you're up, buddy.
Here's a book that I don't know if I should go modern or should I go old. Okay, we'll go old. This is a book that, like I was saying before we went live about this book, I'm so tired of this book not getting the recognition it deserves. And I know that Disney and I Love Disney and Comics just picked this book up.
Yes,
this is the first appearance of Adam Warlock. This book is absolutely a key book, and if you ever read anything with Silver Surfer, he's always teaming up with this guy. If you watch the cartoon in the 90s, he was always teaming up with this guy. If Silver movie, he's going to be in the movie, and it's going to be awesome. And right now you can get this book for like dirt cheap. And I just wanted to give a PSA. This book is cool. So if you want to get on it before it gets too expensive, now's the time to do it.
How much? Oh, I got mine for $1. I got mine for $1 at a Comic-Con about 20 years ago.
$1? I think
$1. Probably less, like 40 cents.
I got this
in the house. Oh, wow. See, I never find nothing like that at the second channels I go to. Marvel Premiere gets my love. Lady Fantastic knows my Adam Warlock affinity. Robert Wurst is in the house. Hi, Aaliyah Comic Bro says, hello all. It's a great book. Great book. Gil Kane. Oh, yeah. Gil Kane is the man. Scott Neely got distracted. Okay, next book I found for $3. It is a bit lower grade than the other one. Got like 6 or 7, 8 spine ticks on it. I did not have it, but it is a key. Daredevil 176, first appearance of Stick.
Wow.
So that's the guy that trained Daredevil in martial arts.
So is that the true origin of Daredevil then?
This isn't the origin. It's the first appearance of Stick, though.
Oh, is this his first appearance? Oh, okay.
He trained him later. He trained him later in the martial arts.
Oh, trained him later? Okay. Because I remember the movie had a different setup.
I think something happened to Daredevil. He got hurt and I don't know if he came out of a coma or something like that. It's been so long since I read it. And Stick came in and helped him come back to his full potential and trained him. So that's 176, November 81. Miller on the scripts, Miller on the art. For $3, I'm definitely picking that book up, even if it's in mid-grade. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Neely. So I got my TPB to take to school to read this week. Legion of Superheroes Teenage Revolution from 2004. Anyone here like trade paperbacks? I'm sure there is. I don't care for them, but I'm sure there's people here that love them. I think it contains flashbacks. Read Comics 81 says Chris. Rob Wurst, thanks for all. Thought 2 cups of Cuban coffee might be overkill. That Miller run is highly underrated. Is it? I thought it was really not overrated, but rated good. I don't know. Go ahead, buddy.
It was one of those things. It's kind of like, Daredevil was dying, right, in the 80s. This was a common theme in the 80s. Character was dying. They gave a writer that had somewhat of a good storyline. They said, run with it, make it your own thing. They just let him do whatever he wanted, and that's why the stories were good. The more often than not, when the company stepped in, and they still do that to this day, when they step into a title, and they interfere with the writers, the story suffers. From Frank Miller, the first run, they didn't care what he put out. They just wanted the books to sell because the company wasn't involved with, censoring.
Paul Acosta has a question. He said, Warlock was based on Jesus Christ. That's true. Roy Thomas definitely was influenced by Christ to create that character. He said, who's his Antichrist?
Magus.
It's been long since I read that.
Right.
I don't know.
I have
I'd have to go
that
back and
book
read it. It's been
somewhere.
so long since I read it. Miller was Rob Ware says Miller was one of the first runs I pieced together as a kid. One of the best stories in all comics. Robert Ware says bake the snakes in here. What's going on, brother? Okay, I'm up. I got me a Charlton Good Girl romance book for $3. It's got a girl on the beach smoking a cigarette. Her top's about to come undone, and the guy's walking behind her with a guitar. I thought that was a really cool cover. It's a Garcia Lopez cover too.
Wow. Very
I love my
provocative
good
for a comic cover.
yeah, especially for 1970 too.
I got one, but I don't think I want to show it because it might offend some people, so I'm not going to show it.
Like who?
But
Like me?
it's just a very risque cover.
No pornographic on this channel. Oh, Starlin only picks
right,
up 2 years later. Yep. Was it in Strange Tales, which I have actually one right here. Since he mentioned it, I'm just going to show it real quick. Picked it up for 40 cents. Back before
Oh yeah.
Back before all this social media, you could go to the cons and you could fill long boxes for like $100. I had a guy that you could fill long boxes for, I think $75, and then for $150 you could fill them with all Silver Age. And it slowly started to the price on that started going up and up as social media started to come into existence.
Yeah.
Daredevil showed New York's dirtiest Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, I love Daredevil. Even before the Frank Miller run, I loved Daredevil. Early Bullseye cover in Bullseye.
Yeah, Bullseye is like the best villain for street
Gil
levels you can
Kane.
get.
Oh, I showed on the other show, I bought a Captain America where Bullseye fights Crossbones. Oh, and he's actually waiting out on a window ledge, and Red Skull is Crossbones' boss. So he waits for Red Skull to get out in the open. He crashes through the window and shoots Red Skull right through the forehead. It looks so cool. It was a robot, but it was a really cool scene. Okay, you're up.
All right. I don't know what I want to go with. I guess I'll go with this book. So I picked this up in the dollar bin recently, and to find a 1 in 25 variant that I'm actually looking for is kind of hard to do. But I just thought this cover was cool, and I found it for $1. Uncanny X-Men 600. I really like the way Storm looks on this cover. Just look at that. The angle's so nice, and you got Jean Grey up there. You got Cyclops, Colleen, Nightcrawler on the cover as well. Cover's awesome. Got that for $1. That was
Nice.
cool.
We got Roger here. He says hey to you and me. And
hey, what's up?
Scott Neely said, "Is Bullseye married? Is his wife named Cow's Eye?" Michael Dodd said, cinematic age of comics is killing the inexpensive back issue. That's why you have to become a bigger hunter now. You got to hone your skills as a hunter. So the next book I got for $3, and I'm going to show the book after that because it goes with it. So I got this for $3 in a high grade. This is the DC Millennium edition of Mysterious Suspense, which is the first solo question. It was a one-shot. And this would be his only solo appearance until DC acquired the character and put out his run in 1988. So I picked that up for $3 because this is the big key I got from that store for $25. It's really nice too. It's like an 8.0. So this is actually the
That
original
book is
issue.
cool. That book is so cool.
Steve Ditko, original character and creation. He does all the art. I believe he writes it too. I have not really checked that out. This is from October 1968, so this is Silver Age.
Are you familiar with his Mr. A stuff?
I have
The
seen it.
precursor?
I've looked at buying it, but I didn't want to pay the price I was seeing it at. And I also want to get his
One of my
mysterious.
LCSs have a.
Go ahead.
One of my LCSs has a Wits End 3, which is I think one of the first appearances of Mr. A, and he has it for like $50, and
Yeah,
I keep going back and forth in my head whether if I should buy that or not.
that's the price I always.
It's just so rare to find that. Yeah.
And I'd like to get some Mysterious Traveler too. He did that, created that character. We got Alex Big Blue in. Hey, Alex. Gray Man says goodnight. And the mysterious suspense is great. Yeah, I'm waiting to read that. I'm savoring it. Okay, you're up, and I'm gonna put you on the big screen. What do you got?
All right. Let's just pull out some books I think are really cool. Two books here, and I bet you probably haven't seen these unless you own these. These are kind of tough to find. I got a John Byrne cover right here, X-Men. It's one of those Marvel collectible classics.
I've never seen that.
Yep. And it's John Byrne, and it's amazing. And then I have one even better. If you like George Perez, I got a George Perez right here, The Avengers.
There you go,
Another
Roger.
one of those collectible classics.
There's your Perez. I think I've seen that one, but I have never seen the X-Men one.
They just never get talked about because the only ones people really care about are the ones that have the Spider-Man 1 homage and the amazing ASM 300 homage.
Alex says, nice shirt. Nice shirt, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Alex.
It's a 90s Venom throwback right there. But yeah, if you ever see these Marvel collectible classics, pick them up, especially if they're $1. They say it right here. These books, if you're going to buy these on eBay or something, people want like over $50 a piece per issue. So if you find them cheap, get them. That's all I got to say.
Reed's leaving us. Take it easy, Chris. Get well. Get well.
Take it easy, Chris.
Next I have a Golden Age book I got off eBay. This book actually been looking at one of these for a while because they're usually $50 or higher, even in low grade. I guess because they're so tough to get. So this is Blaze Carson #2.
Wow.
The Fighting Sheriff.
That's cool. I like the way they did the they did the text.
I actually want to see what year this is because they usually write it on the back, and I forgot to do that. Oh, come on, fan. 1948, November 48. Love the smoke coming out of the Colt. So I think I got that.
They just don't make.
I think I got this for $10, which is extremely inexpensive for this book. Sometimes you find I search on eBay constantly, especially on Mondays and Sunday nights, looking for that one book that's been underpriced or sold by someone who doesn't normally sell comics. And you can find them. You can find them. It's like looking through the long box. Perez excelled at all team books. His Avengers work was really great. Like his FF2. Nice. Roger says, smoking gun cover, thumbs up. I would love to own a Rifleman comic. Scott Neely. You could jump on eBay and buy one. You can own one tomorrow. I could put you in an issue tomorrow. You know, Michael, Teen Titans 2. Yep. Paul Acosta says that's what's good by today's standards. Blaze Carson was part of Marvel Atlas initial Western offerings alongside Kid Colt and Two Gun Kid. I just picked up Paul Acosta, Fighting Outlaws by Atlas Comics, which was a rare one too. This is what happens when you open up the Gerber Guide late at night. It's like a Sears Roebuck catalog for comic books. And then you jump on eBay and you're like, man, I wonder if I can find this, and can I find it cheap? Yeah, Scott Neely says for over $100. You know, I'd like to find a Cisco Kid comic book in high grade. I've been looking for one for Dell. They have a bunch of them at low grade, but I want a high grade one. Okay, you ready? You're up.
Yeah, I got a cool photo variant. I picked this up a while ago, like a couple months ago, and it's just I hardly ever see people talk about this, and I'm curious what people have to think about in the comments about like movie photo covers.
Nice.
This is ScarJo Black Widow. I think this was a 1 in 10 variant from this volume. I think this is the same volume that they did the Stephanie Hans issue 5, I believe it was Stephanie Hans. The issue 2 with the smoking gun. If you like smoking gun covers, it might be something.
I have the one where she's holding.
The guy that likes smoking guns.
I have the one where she's holding the sniper rifle up in front of the Kremlin. #1 issue.
Oh, the Deadly Origin?
I don't know what it is, but it's one of my favorite covers. Yeah, that is cool. I love Black Widow.
I want this to get signed by ScarJo at some point.
Man, I was
this book. I found this one for I think it was definitely less than 5. It's second in Charles. So
nice. Yeah, I was upset when they killed her in the end game.
Oh.
That was really
I was upset too. Like it made me very furious.
She should have had a movie way before Captain Marvel.
Oh, for sure. Like I think it was unneeded. They should have made a Black Widow movie way before they make a Captain Marvel movie. For sure. Oh, that cover is so sick. Oh, I've been looking for that cover high and low for a long time, and I found one time, but it had like 15 spine ticks on it, so I didn't buy it. I've been looking for that book for a long time.
Okay, so I'm going to be showing some Venom books now. So what you're up though. Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn?
I never liked Venom until Donny Cates jumped on it. Then I started liking Venom. Then I started going back and finding out I did like him. We got Jackson Roy Kirk in the house. She should have had a movie instead of Marvel. Yeah, exactly. Metarog, it's a lot cheaper to have a photo cover, Scott. Dell was famous for them. Because Scott says, I don't know why, but I prefer drawn covers. All right, you ready?
I never see people talk about this cover, and it's an Eric Larson cover. It's Nova #7. And if you're not a fan of Eric Larson, I mean, you might be a fan after this, because once you see this in person, it just the camera doesn't do this cover justice.
I got to tell you something about Eric Larson.
You got to hold this cover in like face to face.
That is a nice cover. Cool. But let me tell you, nothing against Eric Larson, but I picked up that one. I think I put it away. Let me see if it's right here. The issue of Spider-Man. That I think I put it in this file. Let me see if it's right here. And I read it yesterday. Yep, here it is. I read it yesterday. It's got a beautiful Todd McFarlane cover. I opened it up. It's Eric Larson, and the art pissed me off. He does not know how to draw. He doesn't know how to draw anatomy. The legs were way too long in some panels, and then in other panels, the arms were way too long. And it was like, it looked so unrealistic and so cartoonish. And I thought, I said, probably the people growing up in this era, they like that, but his anatomy was all wrong everywhere. It looked cool. He made it look cool, but it just I thought it was going to open
Was it
it
a
up and
female character?
it was
Or was it
everything was.
Spider-Man?
Let me show you. Everyone. Spider-Man, Captain America. Almost every panel, well, not almost, about. So right here, look at her face. It just looks like a cartoon. Okay, let me put it on the big screen because that's not so bad. That I don't mind. I'll show you what the real panel was. Oh, it's Silver Sable in Captain America. They jumped out of this plane somewhere. Now I have to probably go through the whole book. And I've never really seen anything. Oh, here it is. That leg, his folded leg, is entirely too long. And look at her leg. Her folded leg is so long. It's unbelievable. But
they were trying to, like, his torso is like 1/3 the size of his legs on that next page.
And then right here, if you see his arm, if his arm was straight, it'd be way too long. But it is what it is. I mean, it was a fun issue, I have to say. I've never really experienced Eric Larson outside of the Savage Dragon before. But it's been a long time
also, at
since
that
I read
time,
that
you know,
too.
the mid 80s, early 90s were like it was a different era of drawing. You know, it was mostly, you know, inspired by cartoons and Eastern animation, like Japanese and stuff. They took those long legs and the deeper lines and the protruding pecs and the oversized muscles to the extreme because of you know, influence.
I'm an amateur comic book artist, and I've studied the anatomy, but I am not like 100% know about it every time I draw a character. So what you do is you draw it just to look cool. And it doesn't matter if it's like perfectly autonomically correct. If it looks cool, you leave it. And I think that's what he did. He was just drawing it. It looked cool, so he wasn't worried about if it was all correct or not. But there are other artists that are trained from school. They're schooled on making sure the anatomy is correct, like Neil Adams, George Perez, and you kind of see what I'm saying here.
Yeah, I see where you're going with
and it does.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it and you're not worried about it being correct, it looks cool. And a lot of the '90s readers, that's what they like. They like big guns and the big round thing over their feet. And if it looked cool, like Eric Larson, when he draws Spider-Man, he does all those poses that are so fantastic, but it makes it look like he's a spider.
Yeah. I mean, it's called the Extreme Age for a reason. I mean, like from 1990 to 1997, it was just in your face, over sexualized women and in your face, buff men with huge arms and huge penis bulges. And like, it's so in your face that you're getting turned off by the art style after like 3 issues of reading a series. It's like, okay, it's just over unrealistic action. I mean, that's the whole argument about it. But like 20 years later, to me at least, it looks kind of cool. Some of the stuff is dated well. Like, I think some of Todd McFarlane's stuff just looks awful, especially from his Spider-Man. Some of it looks bad, especially towards the end.
When I was done reading it, I was entertained. So it wasn't like it was awful, because there are some comics that I'll read. I can name a lot of Silver Age DC that I just had to drudge through it because it's so awful. Not necessarily the art, but the story. But, you know, if you're entertained at the end of the day, then they did their job.
As long as they sell books, but back then they were all about selling books, though. Like, they didn't care about the story. They just cared if the book came out on time, really, because they were selling like 500,000 copies of books back then. They were used to moving high volumes, but then once the fans that were buying the books realized that they were putting nothing but garbage, no good stories, just good art. I mean, like, you buy a comic book to read it. You don't buy a comic book to look at pictures. If you wanted to look at pictures, you buy a photo book or you buy a gallery book.
I'm looking at this,
So
the chats. Scott Neely says he's never noticed any penis bulges. I don't know what to say about that, Scott. I'm really happy for you. I am. Yeah.
You don't believe me?
Yeah.
Pick up a night book and just kind of look, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Cable.
Jackson Roy Clark.
Good example.
Jackson Roy Kirk said that's why he left Marvel and went to reading Valiant in the 80s. Scott says the women wore Baywatch swimsuit outfits that made their legs go up to their armpits. Metarog McFarlane drew some cool webbing though. Yeah, he did. I agree with that. I buy a comic for the art too. Michael Dodd, the bullpen was long gone. It was the corporate crank out in the 90s. And Scott Neely says, I guess I never look at the crotch of guys. I'm glad that you don't.
Well, it's now that you look, it's just there. Like if you're looking from top to bottom on like Cable, for example, it's just predominant, and it's kind of like nauseating, especially in like his first solo volume. It is horrible in the panels. It's just like in your face when he's doing a backflip or he's jumping up in the air. It's just there every panel.
Next subject. My favorite movie quote by Owen Wilson in Zoolander 2. He wants to know if you have a hot dog or a bun.
You
never saw that movie?
I'm guessing
Zoolander 2?
Yeah, I haven't seen the second Zoolander. I've seen the first one.
What the guy?
I heard the
second guy's name. I think his name was All. His name was All. He said, he goes, all is all. And Owen Wilson, all he wants to know is if you have a hot dog or a bun. I laugh. Okay, so I'm going to let you chat for a minute. I got to go to the bathroom. So here you go. You're going on the big screen.
I guess I'll just start throwing up books. If you guys like DC stuff, like I think 90s DC stuff or like late 80s DC stuff was definitely overshadowed by Marvel, and I just always found it interesting. If you find like cool DC gems, if you like Adam Hughes, this is a good one. Legion of Samuel, just awesome cover. She's pulling the strings, and it's just the line work on this cover is amazing, and holding it in person is awesome. The story, I really didn't feel the story all that well. I'm not a big Legion fan, but I'm not saying that it's not good Legion stories. I just didn't really like that book. Here's another book. John Byrne, back to the John Byrne covers. I got another one here. Classic John Byrne, Silver Surfer. That book is awesome. Everybody knows this book by now. Let me see if I can grab it. John Byrne, She-Hulk, jump rope issue. This is a controversial book for some reason because she's naked on the cover. Pretty iconic. And then I just picked this one up recently. I thought this one was a pretty cool one. Never knew about this cover. It was a DC Universe variant, and it's Superman, the Wedding Album, and Superman's holding Lois Lane.
So what's the regular cover?
It's pretty cool. There's another version of this, and it's the Wedding Album, and it's a die cut book. So it has the Wedding Album, and it has a sticker. If you have the Wedding Album variant, if it has a sticker on the front.
Is it white?
Yeah, it's all white.
Yeah, I found 2 of those in the dollar bin.
Yeah, check the back of the book because the UPC is on the back. It could be a DC Universe variant on the variants.
I didn't know that. So I gave one away. I think it's in the prize box, so I'm giving one away.
So I showed him 3 John Byrne covers. I showed him this one. I showed him this one. Another John Byrne goodie. And then I showed him this one. And then I showed everybody this Adam Hughes, little known Adam Hughes cover, Legion of Superheroes Annual 1. Cover is awesome. It's from 1990.
They're
Badass.
sensational She-Hulks, man. They're going up in price now. Everywhere I go.
I've seen shops throw up random issues for like $10.
Paul Acosta said he's got to go. So thanks for joining us.
And thank you for stopping by, guys.
Yep, the 80s DC was at least good, if not better than Marvel. They tapered off in the 90s like Marvel, but they returned to good stuff in 2000, says Jackson Roy Kirk. Alex Blue's got to go also. See you later, Alex. In the 90s, I was in college, but I read Wildcats. Okay, this is my book. I'm up next. I found this at $1 at the flea market. This guy at the flea market, he usually doesn't have anything good. I usually find maybe 1 or 2 books. I guess we lost Ryan again. So I'm going to go big until he's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Hey, what's up?
So who does that cover? I have no idea. You probably do.
What was the cover?
New Avengers number 35.
So Philip Tan cover. Tan cover. I want to say
Venomized Wolverine.
Maybe Ed Hayes.
I just seen it. I knew it was a desirable book, so I grabbed it for $1. It's in pretty high grade. This next one I got for 35 cents.
Oh,
iconic Bullseye.
If you find 100,
I saw some Lady Bullseye covers. Is that Lady Bullseye? I found some Lady Bullseyes yesterday. They wanted $3 a piece, but since I was limiting my money, I didn't grab them. I would like to go back and get them. Steve at I Love Disney and Comics. There you go. You guys are seeing double. Steve says, I've been begging comics while watching you guys. Keeping you company. I feel surrounded by old people going to be before the sun goes down. So I got mine for 35 cents, though. How did you get yours?
I think I got mad because I paid $20 for mine, and then I found it in the $2 bin a year later, and I was upset. But yeah, I paid $20.
Captain Kirk is left, but I found it at his shop. He had 10 comics for $2. This was on the very back of the package. When I picked it up off the shelf, I turned it over, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I handed it to him, and I was like, don't turn it over. Don't turn it over. And so he priced it and charged me $2. So I got it for that. And then later on, the next week, I found first Riri Williams for $10 in his back issue bin.
Wow.
So he was checking me out, and he goes, this is a $70 comic. I said, I know, but you got $10 on it. So I gave him 21 for it.
That's not a bad deal at all.
So I still have that one. Okay, go ahead if you want to show one.
I got a funny cover. This is a funny cover, and shout outs to A Poor Man Comics. If you like Adam Hughes, this is another good Adam Hughes cover. I laugh every time I see this book. It's Elemental 17, and Saddam Hussein's getting his butt kicked by these characters right now. And the story is funny too. You guys need to, if you like, a pretty good one. Saddam Hussein getting his butt kicked.
How often do you see Saddam Hussein on a comic book cover? Not very often.
Hardly ever. No.
That might be the only time.
I think it's pretty neat. I think it actually is the only time.
That's a key. That's his first appearance in comics. There you go.
Gosh. Iraqi dictator.
Scott Neely said his comic book haul video is up, so we got to watch it tomorrow. I was going to say something. Now I can't remember what I was going to say. Chris M is in the house. Is that Bill Willingham? I don't know. I don't know who Bill Willingham is. I found this, and I got this out of the 50-cent bin. I went back a couple months later, and he had it on the wall for 40. I said, I got that out of your 50-cent bin. He goes, I know. Don't tell me. Don't remind me. Jim Lee,
Jim Lee
iconic.
cover's amazing.
Yeah. I pulled so many keys out of this guy's 50-cent bins. Well, it's not his bins. He'll buy a big collection, and he'll call and say, I got a collection in. And then I'll go down there and he'll say everything's 50 cents, and I'll pull out a bunch of books. It's been happening less and less, but he still always gets me good deals on key books. That's Vibranium Comics in Ocala. All right, you're up, brother.
This is my favorite Jim Lee cover of all time. And when this came out, it came out like I think 2 years ago, and I knew I had to have it. Harley Quinn 25th anniversary special, and she's holding the guns.
Nice.
Cover is so good, and like I said, another cover. You have to hold this in person to really get a good feel about the book. Sorry about the glare, but yeah, this is Jim Lee's finest hour right here.
Nice.
Harley Quinn. Love that cover.
I remember what I wanted to say. I wanted to say tune in tomorrow because on Too Many Comics or Not Enough, that's the question. We're going to have Metarog, and we're going to have Lawrence from the Go-To Geeks, and we're going to be showing Bronze Age Marvel books. So get ready for that. Willingham did the Elementals for Comico. Very stylized, but I always liked his work, says Michael Dodd. Scott Neely says you should get a keychain. Ha, ha, ha. You're a funny guy, Scott. I have to hand it to you.
No,
okay,
but if you're asking the question, if this was a Willingham, this is an Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes did this cover, if that's what you're asking. So, clear that up for you.
Your cat's back?
Yeah, my cat's meowing. Trying to come in the door, but he's not coming in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Clayton Crane. I love that cover.
I know. I usually don't go after modern books on eBay. But when I seen this, I'm like, I gotta have it. It looks like candy almost. It's so colorful.
I'm waiting for the $5, but I'm being patient.
I think I saw this. I think I saw it on Jim's Comics, and I seen it. I was like, holy smokes, let me get on eBay because he said, you better grab this book because it's going up. And I said, okay, I got to get it. I got two of them for $12. I should have kept that other one, but what can you do with two books, really? Unless you're going to flip it.
Yeah.
All right, Skittles. Yeah, it does. That's what it looks like, Skittles. Taste the rainbow, people.
Taste my fist.
Venom, taste the rainbow of blood. All right. Oh, Ranger Slice here. What's up, brother? I'm sending out your package tomorrow. Just so you know. Scott says, it's my imagination. Does every comic collector have a cat? You know, I think they do. All the good ones do. That's why I had to get a cat. I felt I was left out. Jackson Roy Kirk says, I'm there. I am there. Okay, so it's your turn. I'll put you on the big screen.
All right, people who like smoking guns are out there smoking gun covers. This is like a modern interpretation of one. Danger Girl #2, J. Scott Campbell smoking gun. It's not the ruby red variant, which is like $1,000 book, but this one is probably his most famous work that got him famous. It was this cover, and I found this a while ago. Can't remember how long ago. It had to be back in 2017. I got this at Second and Charles, my honey hole, my old honey hole at least.
Chris says he used to have that one. He says, Rip Doc. Now, let me ask you some questions. What are you hearing about Tank Girl? Anything?
Oh, Tank Girl, Margot Robbie. She's producing the film. And I think Deadline, the UK comic, is like going crazy right now. Then the American appearance. People are trying to find her first American. There's an Amazing Heroes issue. Then there's a DHP 50 that has her on the back cover, kind of like let's see if I have the book out. You guys know anything about the Crow, Mike? Do you know anything about the Crow?
Yeah, I know. I've been looking for the first series. I'm gonna put you on the big screen. I'm gonna check
Well,
to make sure my laptop is plugged in.
okay. I'm trying to find this.
Oh, you froze. I got to come back. Oh no, you're back. Go
I'm
ahead.
back. Okay. Um, the crow. Let's go with the crow. Whatever I have. Let's see. Here. Crow's first appearance. People want to say it's this. Have you guys ever heard of the what is it? Dead World comic series from Comico? Well, it was like issue 10 has an advertisement of the crow on the back cover. That's his first appearance. If that's shocking, and that people buy that book for over $100. So now this DHP Dark Horse Presents 50 has an advertisement on the back cover before her first Dark Horse series. So that book is starting to like catch some steam. So is this review of her in the book? So to answer your question about Tank Girl, there is that information. But here's a Todd McFarlane variant I have of the Crow, and this cover is super cool. I got this at a flea market about a year or so ago, and I have never really showcased this book that often, but it's just so cool. And I think it's one of Todd McFarlane's actual like best work he's probably ever done.
Nice. Yeah, it is beautiful.
It is so beautiful. I like it when he does this painted style. It looks much better. And Brian Haberly, the inking, I'm pretty sure he did something. He worked with McFarlane on this too. So that's awesome.
Ranger Sly, if you weren't tuned in earlier, tomorrow night, gonna have Metarog here and gonna have Lawrence from the Go-To Geeks, and we're gonna be showing Bronze Age Marvel books. I know that's up your alley. Okay, so it's my turn. Wait.
Oh,
I got it upside down.
Upside down. Venom Delata. When that book came out, that was like a $15 book. People really wanted that cover.
It reminds me of a cartoon character, and I cannot think of who it is. It just looks so silly. To me, it looks sillier than it does like Wicked or Evil or anything. But it is cool. It's definitely a cool cover. And I've never been a huge Venom fan, but when I seen this as another one, I jumped on eBay and grabbed it real quick. I think I might have only paid awesome. Like $3 for this off eBay. That's the annual cool. Number 1. You know which one I didn't grab? What's the one annual with Spider-Man where it goes back to the 80s and shows what happened when he first got the symbiote at night? He would go out and Venom would try to correct some of the things he was dreaming about or the problems he was having, the anxiety. And he'd wake up tired, but he never knew that he was out at night. That was a Delato?
Yeah. The cover, I think. Yeah. I think he did. He did 3-4 covers for that series.
That was a really good annual. I remember reading that. It's one of the few newer books that I really, really thought was like really, really great.
Speaking of Venom,
you're up.
All right, so.
Oh yeah, nice. I definitely like that.
This book. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. There's half the community that thinks that this book is the first Agent Venom, and half the community that thinks that Spider-Man issue where Flash Thompson becomes Venom is the first Agent Venom. Well, I'm gonna be the one to tell you this, that this is Agent Venom's first appearance, because Flash Thompson was just Venom when in the Amazing Spider-Man issue. This is the issue where he becomes Agent Venom. So the technicality right there goes to this, and this is the second print. And Secret Avengers 23. I also have the first print to this as well. I just think that this was one of my all-time favorite versions of Venom, and Arthur Adams killed this cover. Art Adams. It has like a bunch of characters in the back. It's pretty cool.
Nice. That's definitely what I'm on the
Blocking
lookout
Giant
for.
Man's head.
We got Spider Comic 7 in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
You got Michael Dodd. Looks like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon with the overbite. Yeah. True, it does. Rangers Lies out of here. Good night, brother. Take care. Hopefully to see you tomorrow night. And Chris M says, Sister Christian. Okay. So I know this book is hot now. And especially the variant.
Oh yeah.
Is it the second print? What's the key
Yeah,
on
I have the
this?
second print out right now.
What's the key on this book? I forget. First appearance
It's the first appearance of Sleeper. It's the first appearance of Sleeper.
Oh, you have the variant? Nice.
Yeah, I have the second print.
See?
I got this in a Walmart pack.
How recently?
About a week or two ago. They have them in Walmart
okay.
3-packs.
I haven't been to Walmart in a while. I wanted to get that Ghost, 100-page Ghost. Have you seen it?
The one with Dead Man in it?
It
has the one with the Swamp Thing one, but I went today to Walmart, didn't have it.
It has the Justice League of Zombies or Vampires on the front. The Ghost one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you about that one. I've been looking for that one too. I could not find that one either.
Steve got it.
I don't think that Walmart has gotten it.
My Walmart's pretty good about having that, but
those have really good stories.
I haven't been over there. We got 9 minutes left before we close the show. I got 2 comics to show. This has just pulled it out since I was showing Moon Knight. 50-cent find. Moon Knight joins the West Coast Avengers.
Oh,
I actually read Solo Avengers number 3, which I just found in the 50-cent bin, where he fights the Shroud, and the Shroud puts him through all these tests in a castle because he wants to recruit him as the leader of the Night Shift. Have you ever heard of that team? Oh, you froze on me? Come back to me, brother. Come back. Anyways, so I went to see if I could find that first appearance of Night Shift for $1 and headed out to the comic shop later that day, and I did find it at the first shop. Captain America 330 is the first appearance of the Night Shift, which is Werewolf by Night, Gypsy Moth, Brothers Grimm, the Needler, the Digger, and 2 other characters. I thought maybe they might show up in the Night Ranger. Good, one of my favorite bands from the 80s. All right, we lost StrangeXblade X. Hopefully we'll get them back before the end of the show. Yeah, they were cool. If you can find that Solar Avengers volume or number 3, that is a really good Moon Knight story. And I forget who does the art, but it's really good. It's better than their first appearance. They didn't really look all that menacing in that Captain America issue. I'm going to show my last book, and I'm going to hope that Ryan comes back to us. Just thought this was a cool cover. I actually got this for $1, I don't know, about a couple years ago. Weird Western Tales, number 21. Cool news cover with Jonah Hex. Here comes StrangeXblade. You're back. I'm going to show this book real quick, and then I'll let you go. I think, who is this? I don't know who does this cover. LD, if anybody knows. It's really cool. Very nice high-grade copy of that. Okay, so Ryan, if you got some to show, I'm done with mine. You can show what you got there.
I got about 2 or 3 books left.
I was asking.
I'll make them.
I was going to ask you a question. Have you heard of the team Night Shift?
No. Where is Night Shift? DC, Marvel?
Marvel. I was reading Solo Avengers 3, and they were in there. They tried to recruit Moon Knight as their leader. And it's the Werewolf by Night, Gypsy Moth, Brothers Grimm, Digger, a couple other characters. But it was their first appearances in Captain America 330. So I went out to see if I could find it for $1 and found it at the first shop for $1 the other day. And
Well, that's
no, it's
awesome.
not Wrightson, but it's like a nocturnal team. So I thought, they might be something that they might use for the Moon Knight series.
Yeah, Nocturnal Team. Yeah, I can definitely
It's
see that them putting their own
yeah,
twist on it. I think a lot of people are speculating that Prowler is going to be on the show in some way. Or I've been hearing a lot of talk about Prowler. Even Night Watch, which is like Marvel's version of Spawn. People are throwing that character out. I don't know about that, but I never know. It's like it's like that '90s character. His first appearance is like Web of Spider-Man '99 or something.
okay. You answered my question. All right, you're up. You're up.
Huh? What'd you say, Mike?
You're
I
up.
can't hear you. Oh, I'm up.
You're up.
Oh, okay. All right. So we have Justice League number 3, the Superman logo variant.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, these Superman logo variants right here. They only did 2 of them. They did this issue Justice League 3, and then they did Firestorm 61. And I think they did another issue, but I forget that one. There's a third one, supposedly, but that one's even tougher to find. I've always thought this, see people talk about these. So Superman logo variant, it's pretty cool. And I picked up for $1 Dave Wilkins' Black Panther.
Nice.
If you like Dave Wilkins, have you seen the new Wolverine Blade stuff that he's been doing?
I haven't, no.
No, this is his iconic Black Panther cover.
You got one more to close us out with?
Yeah, my favorite 50 Cent pickup recently. If you like Goon out there, like that's independent. I got a Digital Webbing Presents number 5, signed by Eric Powell. Now, Digital Webbing Presents books. If you see these, Mike, out in the dollar bins, look for this one in issue 24 with Raphael on the cover. TMNT.
Right.
You see that book or this book? You're in a good right there. They don't know what they have.
I can retire.
Maybe not, but they're pretty cool books to have. They're just pretty hard to find digital webbing stuff. And digital webbing is, it was kind of like a platform they ran with Dark Horse. They did independents or come in like maybe like a what is the one that they did with Kabuki? They did a Negative Burn, kind of like Negative Burn. Dark Horse Presents. It's the same thing. Digital Webbing Presents.
Okay,
so
cool.
Yeah, this is like the 8th appearance of Goon, but Goon's very confusing to collect. So this one's like one of the sought after ones.
Yeah, they came out with that Goon, that newest series, right when I started to stop buying new comics, so I didn't pick it up. All right, so
the Albatross stuff.
Yeah. Michael Dodd has Jonah Hex number 9, which has a Wrightson cover, but not his best work. And Scott says, I have a few of those Avengers solo comics too. Those Avengers solo comics are really good. They're classic Marvel. And Scott Neely says, I love that era of Justice League. And he's never seen that cover. Okay, we got 1 minute left. So tomorrow night, it's Roger Metarog, Professor of Comics, and the second half of the comic book community duo, the Go-To Geeks, Lawrence, and we're going to focus on Marvel Bronze Age comics. So we're just going to show whatever we want that's related to Marvel Bronze Age, and we're going to talk, and we're just going to try to be funny, maybe a little more funnier than tonight. I don't know. But thanks, Ryan, for joining me on Too Many Comics or Not Enough.
No problem.
And we're definitely going to have you back. and just hang around because you and I are going to
Oh,
chat
yeah.
for a little bit. So everybody have a good night. Ryan, you want to say anything?
Thank you guys for coming and seeing some modern books. If you didn't like modern books, I'm sorry, but thanks for letting me show my books anyway. And hope to see you guys next chat I do. So,
All right,
take
everybody.
care.
Everybody have a great week. We'll catch you tomorrow night.